Well, this is the first video from me this year, and yeah, it's about my garage again. So it's a bit of an update. I haven't made any video for a few months now, over Christmas and so on, and that's Larry, you know Larry. Yeah, basically, where do I start? You know, about 2 years ago, I actually had a planner, eventually came out, and she told me I could keep the garage exactly as it is, providing I put some screening up. Now, several months ago, I put screening fencing across here, and it wasn't really high enough and so on. They wanted it about 12 foot high to stop my view of the garage from my window over there, so they couldn't see it. But anyway, that was rejected. So of course I'm not leaving a screen fence in for no reason, blocking my view of the house and the garage when it's of no value. So I've taken that up. The sheep have now started devouring my plants over the winter, because it's what sheep do. So they're stripping the bark off everything. But anyway, that's another matter. They're just gonna probably die. They might grow back, don't know. Now, basically last year, as I say, 2 years ago I was given permission to keep it as long as I put sufficient screening. Then I thought, great, I got on with jobs on the house, sorted all the house out, I moved into the house, and then 10 months had gone past, and then the council contacted me and said, we've had a change of plan, you're stuffed, we would like you to take the garage down, and we're looking at giving you 20 days to get it down. Anyway, stop playing with the cords on me. He's nibbling at these, you see. He thinks they're food. They're not food. They're not food. Go and eat grass. Basically he said, you're stuffed, you get it down within 20 days or we'll take action. Anyway, that pissed me off. I went off work with stress for 3 weeks. Anyway, managed to get the council around and talk to them a bit, and eventually over the next month or two I put in a design for them to reshape the roof of the garage, basically putting a second apex on it to look like this. So, oh sorry, the sun's glinting here. Yeah, so to change it so it looks like that. But it's not only that that's going to be changed. They also want me to cover all the walls in timber and change the door here to a wooden vertical plank door. It's annoying because I spent quite a bit of time trying to get this stonework to actually, or fake stonework to resemble stone. I've taken all the vertical strips that were on off, and I've masticed the gaps between the panels in a brown mastic. Now this is just a side view, so you know we don't really come down here anyway. It's not the main view from the house, so it's still better than these. What I've done is I've laid these panels, which were screwed over the gaps and looked pretty much of an eyesore to me, and I've put them down and I've put extra concrete in around the edge to build that out. You can see what the strips look like. There's one there on the floor. It's a very sort of poor idea, to be honest. I don't think Legit had a very good idea in putting them on. So yeah, the walls are a mixture of lime mortar with, you know, red lime mortar brushed on to change the rendering shades. So anyway, so I'm now stuck with this thing. I've got to change the roof, which basically means I have to put this idea forward to stop them forcing me to scrap the garage and me having to spend, say, £30,000 building another one over here, which would have screwed up my solar panels, because they said, well, I can keep the solar panels, they just won't be of any use. And of course, if they move over to there, it'll then be classed as another installation, and any feed-in tariffs I would then get would all have to be screwed up, and I'd be down to about a few pence an hour. So not really an option. I want to keep the solar panels where they are on the roof of the garage, facing south, not facing north and east, or sorry, east and west, I should say, sorry, as it would be there with trees around it. So I've got the issue now, 3/4 of the rain that's going to hit the roof on here is going to go that way, away from the drain pipe, and then it's all got to come back in this 4-inch guttering. It's got to pour into the gutter down there, and then run back down the gutter on the front here and back to my well, which is the filter, so that it can go off to the drain, because the well is a leaf filter. Without a sufficient leaf filter like this, then any drainage system that you've got is not going to be as easy to handle. You know, it's going to clog up really easily. This is spot on. Any leaves which are on the roof come down in that pipe there and run into a bucket here, and then into there, and all the leaves are caught in there, and I can clean that out when I want. None of them go through the holes inside into the poly tub and then circulated off into the ground and so on. You know, there's just no leaves to clog up the ground drain. So only about 1/3 of the rain will hit the roof facing this way, and I don't think I get that much rainfall that way anyway. Most of it comes from the other way, so the majority of the rain is going to have to come back down that little gutter and wash down there. Maybe it'll work. Most of the year it'll probably function, but when we get heavy rain, as I've had in the last several weeks, stop that, get off it, get off, naughty sheep. Yeah, so yeah, chase a ball. No. Okay, yeah, so I've had with the house, I've had leaks coming in various places. You know, it's 300 years old, so I've actually now got a plastic bag tied over that drain, over the chimney pot up there, to try and eliminate some problems up there. But the house isn't important. They can really fall down as far as the council's concerned. You know, it's sod all. The important thing is the roof on my garage, which no one can really see. Anyway, so at the moment it's nice and low, but I actually had a government inspector come out, and he went round the back of the garage, and he spent all his time outside of my garden, really looking at views from the public's domain, and he decided that the car park area, which 1 or 2 people go in a day, was of importance, and that blocking views of the house from over there was a negative impact on the house, on the property. Yeah. So he didn't like the fact that the roof was high. But now, to satisfy the council, I'm actually making the roof higher. But the government inspector doesn't know that that is the result of him turning me down. I'm now making the view of the house worse. It's one of those things you can't tell the guy when he comes out, that if he turns it down, he knew we had a second plan that was in agreement with the council, but he didn't know what it was. And the plan with the council was to make it worse for what he thought was detrimental. It's all shit, isn't it? Just total shit. So I'm now going to have to spend £70,000 on redesigning this roof in here and putting a second apex on. I had to put in planning application before Christmas with some plan views of how it's going to look. It actually is going to make the total roof height 12 foot 11 inches, and 1 inch off it being 13 foot, which would have been unlucky. No, in my luck it'll be 13 foot once it goes up. Yeah, so it's currently only about 10 foot high. Not much. I think it was 2.7 meters high or something. No, that can't be right. Yeah, it's not actually on this. Yeah, so it's very annoying, isn't it, Larry? It's very annoying. Larry's lost a lot of sleep over this as well, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah, so in there it actually looks a bit higher, doesn't it? Yeah. It's all annoying because, you know, if you go on the internet, like, there's the size of my garden here, there's my garage, that's the size of the land. Yeah, you got my attention. That's the size of the land I've got. I went on the government website and went through a load of stuff, and the only reason according to the government, the only reason I need planning permission is because it went over the height by 0.7 of a metre within a 2 metre boundary of the property, and that's the only reason. Like this, the area that the garage is on. Stop eating that. I have to put them in there, all hidden now, all hidden. Right. The only reason is it because it's over 0.7 of a metre too high. It's got to be under 2.5 metres. That's right. So it's 3.1 metres the height of the garage as it is now. That's it, 3.1. Yeah, so it's going to it's 0.7 of a metre over height. Don't walk on that. Now, when you look at other things in Britain which have got past planning permission, these are on grade 2 listed buildings. This one's in North London. It's a big sort of cubes stuck on the back of or even maybe on the front of a property. It might be on the back, thinking about it. Then you've got this one. This is a grade 2 listed house here with a big white cube extension built on the back with big metal looking chimney on it and everything. It's all in like white rendered concrete with loads of glass. Bear in mind, these are attached to the house. Then you've got this, which is on the thing in London. This might be on some sort of rails so that you can push it away so it's not a fixed addition to the property. So that's one way you can get away with things. If for instance, if I put the whole garage on some railway track and pushed it forwards and backwards, it would be a mobile structure and exempt from the planning regs, as long as I moved it every now and then. There's another thing. This is a grade 2 listed building, a big sort of manor house, and they've got all this glass extension work on the back, big swimming pool in the rear, and all this white concrete work with flat roofing on, you know. Now this is sort of a garage somewhere near me here in Melling. Low pitch roof. It's not on a grade 2 listed property, but that shows you typical sort of garage. This is actually on a farm nearby. Low pitch roof. This is a farm building, typical 20th century farm building. Not really a very steep angled roof with you know, concretey, asbestos concrete roofing on it, that sort of thing. This is the building round the corner, built in 1668, which the council built council offices onto, with a flat roof, barbed wire, and felt roof and mesh on the windows, and put a betting office at the side. Right, so that's all crap which goes on, but yet this is unacceptable. Even the cat's shocked. Yeah, so I've been drawing up ideas for inside the garage. Now, I've taken some measurements of the existing frame, which is this one here. Then my idea is I'm just going to try and bolt or weld triangles onto the top of the frame to support new timber work. So if I go inside the garage, I can show you a little bit of that. Key, where's the key? Right. Let's get this door up. Now you're not coming in, fellas. I just need extra lighting. You stay out there. Right. So here's the framework inside the garage. So the idea is I'm going to have to put some extra ironwork on, going up, basically making a triangle, which I can then bolt onto this diagonal here, and then move two of these timbers onto so that they're supporting the low side of the roof, the short side of the roof, here, yeah, that section. So two timbers will be, in fact, looking at it, I'm going to need three timbers under that, and then 2 timbers on the short piece from the original apex to the new apex. So one of the reasons I should hopefully be able to get away with this is because of all this uni-strut shelving which I've fitted in here, which is supporting the original ironwork. It's bolted around it and anchored down to the floor, so there's more than enough strength in there to support the shelves, all the stuff I've got on, plus adding extra load to the roof. Then there's 3 sets of this ironwork here, 1, 2, and a third one down there. No, you're not coming in. I know you want to follow me, but not. Right, go and eat grass. Right, then at the ends I'm going to have to put some additional timber framework in, and then I've got to take all the UP... Oh, you bloody thing! Get out! Yeah, I had to abort that due to sheep climbing in. Yeah, so they're now trying to get out and run around my front garden. Yeah, so anyway, you get the idea. I've got to start messing around with all that now. So I've got about 7 months to get this sorted out, but I don't want to start doing it too early because the weather is pretty bloody horrible at the moment. It can be dry or sunny, sort of like it is at the moment, and then the next minute you can have torrential rain. I've got to clear loads of my tools away. I've also got to try and weld up the steel frameworks. I've got to make sure that they're all the correct size, so that once the roof comes off, that it all fits in quickly and the timbers all mount in the right positions. And then I've got to have all the extra roofing panels here on site, and it's all got to go back together. I've got to rip all the UPVC fascia work off the front. I've got to replace all that in timber. Probably I might get away with UPVC left at the back. So if I'm lucky, what I'll be able to do is I'll take the UPVC off at the front in a careful manner, and hopefully I'll be able to patch in the rear stuff with what I've taken off the front before I replace it all with bits of wood so that it can rot. The council like things to rot, you see. So yeah, pretty muddy. Quick run to the gate. No, you're not coming out. No, get your nose out. Right. Yes, so once it's done, instead of the garage being invisible on this view, it's going to be having an elevated roof so that it is visible. Well, seems a load of arse to me, but there you go. You can see it a bit from the gate here, but the ultimate aim is to make it higher so that it's more on view and has a different angle, and ultimately screw the whole design so that it's not as good as what it is now. But at the end of the day, it's not the council's problem, is it? It's just mine. I have to maintain it. Ain't life great? You know, well, could be worse, I suppose.